Hey, Poke, it's only been a day, but we're back. Hi.
It's been so long, so long. I missed
so
you.
long.
So many things. To be fair, today has felt so long. It's been the hottest day.
It's been a long, hot day, right?
In the history of days. I'm pretty sure there's never been a day this hot ever.
It's heavy. It's a lot.
Anywhere.
It's a lot.
Anywhere on the planet has not been as hot as where I live right now.
I'm certain there are people who will disagree.
No, those people are wrong. You don't live my life.
We're not ready for this. We weren't built for this. Our houses have insulation.
You're not wearing any clothes right now, right?
Just my booty shorts, man. Do you not know I stream in booty shorts? Everybody knows by now I stream in booty shorts. It's like life.
I'm waiting for you to forget you're streaming it in booty shorts, stand up, and because I've noticed a trend with you, especially over the last sort of few weeks as it's been getting warmer, that you have your I'll be right back screens.
Yeah.
And it used to be you would say, "Hi guys, I'm gonna go to get tea. I'm gonna go pee or whatever. Stand up, hit the button, walk away." Now you hit the button, tell them everyone you're going, and then go. And every time you do it, I think he's not wearing any trousers. Every time.
I'm not gonna lie, I've tucked the booty shorts up a little bit, mate. They're up here a little bit just to get a bit more draft through. Because I you know, my posh chair, my Herman Miller's it's a mesh bottom, so you can kind of angle your chair a bit towards the fans on my PC, and you get a cold updraft.
So if you get an under fan, you could be the Marilyn Monroe of streaming with all the wind coming up.
What, with like a testicle flailing either side? What's in your head?
Are you at an age where testicles flail? I like to think I'm young enough where they're tight enough that they don't flail.
I'm not that anymore.
What a wonderful glimpse of what's to come.
Yeah, I have to tuck them in to go to the gym now, mate. This is life. This is how it is. This is the life of an adult streamer. This is it.
Don't go to the gym.
Oh Lord, speaking of which, right?
That got out of hand really quick.
Did you have a go with the face up?
I didn't. No, but we can talk about this.
We can, but before we do, just a quick shoot in. The Top Gun trailer for the Top Gun reboot literally looked like they face apped everybody.
Oh really? Oh, so they didn't. Oh, because I saw a lot of the pictures that were face apped for movie. This one just wasn't, and it looked like they had.
It just wasn't, and it looked like it. Yeah, it was like a bowl of prunes flying aeroplanes. It was a lot.
Man, as Goose looking as good as he always did. Getting a little bit thin.
He's looking a bit thin under the ground.
A bit thin under the ground. Too soon. It's too soon. Poor Goose.
There was a scene in it where they harkened back to the Goose dying scene. I saw it in the trailer.
Wow.
For those of you who didn't see the trailer, Poke can link it. But basically, Top Gun's being rebooted, but it's not a reboot. It's a sequel.
Sequel boot.
Like, it's another one. It's basically Top Gun 3.
What happened to Top Gun 2?
Was there a Top Gun 2? I don't know if there was a Top Gun 2.
No, there was never a Top Gun 2. This is Top Gun 2.
Okay, this is Top Gun 2 then. But it should be 3 because they're 3,000 years old.
Did you ever play the Top Gun PlayStation game? That was the only flight game that I ever played that I liked. It was awesome. It was like Star Fox. It was really, it was smooth. I might be remembering wrong. It's probably crap.
They're usually crap.
I loved it. Yeah, they're not. Tie-ins are normally bad, and then flight games are not normally great on console.
No.
It was very Star Fox to my memory.
No, I don't think I think the only flight sim I ever played was Ace Combat. You know, the Ace Combat series.
I don't think I ever played one of those. I was too busy playing Top Gun.
Well, here's what always happens when I play a flight sim. I play it and I think, you know what? I'm going to invest in a Thrustmaster. I'm going to get the throttle and the joystick and all this shit. And then I never do it.
If I Google Thrustmaster...
It's a joystick brand. It's not something you get from Ann Summers.
Thrustmaster 3000. Wow.
But there you go.
Wow.
It's I mean, I remember the Thrustmaster 2, so here we are living this life.
Wow.
But yeah, you could you know, they have like the whole throttle handle and the stick and the lot, you know.
Throttle handle, the stick. That sound like a Thrustmaster. Yep.
It does sound like something that might be called a Thrustmaster, yeah.
It does.
But I never end up doing it, man. I never pulled the trigger on them. Because they don't feel as satisfying to me.
I wasn't into those sort of games, so no. And I was talking about this on stream earlier, weirdly, is that the whole flight sims, because people sink thousands and thousands and thousands into it. And I know a guy that plays it, and he's like, yeah, I'm just doing the flight from Florida to Toronto. I'm like, what? That's a commercial flight. Yeah, no, just taking the people. What? You've chosen to spend 2 hours of your day shuttling people.
Digital people, yeah.
Digital people across America. But he loves it. And you can't judge him. I mean, we all love something that someone else finds weird.
Yeah, man. Escapism's escapism.
But the Euro Truck Sim, those sort of games, the Bus Driver Sim, I don't know why they're so loved.
I've played the Euro Truck Sims, and there is something beautiful about those.
What is it?
They're just very relaxing. They just feel extremely relaxing because there's no traffic, really.
Imagine if there was traffic, you just like get really angry.
Just be a rage simulator.
Just shouting at people. Just pull out, would you?
Yeah, no, I can't handle that shit. It's not for me. But have you seen there's a train simulator, isn't there? There's a train simulator, and the DLC is like £1,600 or something.
I think it's way more than that, isn't it? Like something like 4,000. If you bought every single train and every single line and all of the bits, yes, it's something crazy high. And I've seen a couple of people play it.
There's a train simulator here, but it is an enthusiast's game, so I don't suppose you buy every piece of DLC.
No, you buy the trains you're interested in, you buy the tracks that you're interested in. But that's no different from 50 years ago. You would have had the husband hiding upstairs in the attic or in the loft with the train set.
Yeah, my grandfather was heavy into that stuff. Yeah,
same as my granddad. So it's kind of just an evolution of that.
Train Simulator 2019, right? Released in 12th of July 2009. So they got the date a bit wrong, but that's a thing. You can buy £5,679.35 worth of DLC, and some of that's in the sale.
Some of that's in the sale.
Yeah, that's £6,000 worth of DLC without the sale, or with quick maths. What an incredible amount of money. But like you said, though, I suppose the Hornby set in the attic probably came close, right?
If you bought every single train that Hornby sold and every single track style, there'd be way more than that.
Yeah, you'd certainly be spending some money, I reckon.
So yeah, I guess it's an evolution of that, and it's more immersive than that.
Yeah, I think so. I can understand it. I think that kind of series, those kind of games, flight sims and train sims, they scream for VR. That's how I see those.
I'm not big on VR.
No, I'm not either, but the full immersive experience almost needs it, right?
Yeah. I can see why it would add something to it, but it's like 3D movies. It's for me, it doesn't add anything. It's a more. I wear glasses. It's just a more uncomfortable experience. I don't want to have to wear 2 pairs of glasses to the cinema.
Glasses.
I don't want to wear a VR helmet over that. It's already sometimes uncomfortable. I've gone through years of trying to find the right headset that doesn't make me uncomfortable wearing glasses, let alone a VR helmet on top of them. No, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah, I get you. I'm just scared that my wife will leave when I'm in there, you know?
Halfway from the Crewe to Burnley route, and then suddenly I look around.
Suddenly you turn around, everyone's gone, and you're just on your own in your pants in the middle of the living room.
I was waiting for the sandwich cart, and it just never came.
No, I don't think that's for me. But it's been movies have been a big thing, right?
There's been lots of movie news. I'm a movie nerd anyway. I'm big on movies. I went to college and studied movies. That's what I did. What's
your favorite movie?
You asked me this a dozen times, and I keep telling you it's Shawshank. And
I'm still hoping that at some point you tell me a proper answer.
It's not. It's A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger.
Of course it is. Yeah,
because that's an amazing film.
It's clever. It's very clever.
There's a lot I like about it. I specifically like superhero movies. I think superhero movies as a genre in themselves is still very exciting. It doesn't matter that they're decades old now and that we've been doing this for a long while. I still think the new ones are exciting. I still rush out to go and see them.
You see that list of all the Marvel Universe stuff that they're bringing out.
So many Marvel movies coming out soon.
But it's not all movies, is it? They're doing a lot of series, like a lot of series.
There's a move to Disney's streaming platform, so I would think that they're using that as a hey grown-ups, come and watch us, please.
Yeah, man.
As well as the children watching The Lion King. Also, you'll get to watch The Lion King.
If I can get a platform that lets me watch superhero movies and my kids watch Disney movies, they're going to get my sub.
It's the full package from a family point of view. You've got every side is covered.
It's absolutely perfect.
And don't tell me that you and your wife won't sit there and watch Toy Story together,
mate. Every date night, I could find something on that show without any issue at all. I could find something on there, you know.
And I think adding the superhero movies is, or at least superhero TV shows onto it. Marvel TV shows have been traditionally pretty good.
Niche, but good, yeah.
Well, you've got Daredevil and that little group.
They're the dark Marvel style, right? So they're grittier. They're much grittier.
But then you've got things like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was very good. There's been a good amount.
Yeah, that's fair. Agent Carter, those kind of ones.
Yeah, I mean, some of them have been less good. Agent Carter, less well received.
From what I've understood from the Marvel Universe release, a lot of this stuff is going to be pre-Avengers or, away from the Avengers universe. That's why there are no event. The actual statement was they're going to focus on origin stories as opposed to an Avengers style movie. That's what Phase 4 of the Marvel Universe lineup is.
Isn't the Hawkeye one? I read that the Hawkeye one's going to be him teaching his daughter to be Hawkeye.
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah.
So that could well be post Avengers.
That was alluded to in
the Avengers. Yeah, in Endgame. Mm-hmm. Which was a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Are we allowed to talk about that yet? We're not. No spoilers.
Mate, it's been long enough. We'll not dump some big spoilers, but we could have a conversation. I mean,
that was still a damn good film. And I had that spoiled.
They wrapped it all up quite nicely. Yeah, well, mate, that's the life of the internet guy, right?
Because we stream. Because we've it's very easy to anonymously come and poop on our day.
I had people in when I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2. I played it a little later than everyone else. I had people joining my channel, and their name was, and they were hitting follow. That was the level these people were going to.
I had someone come in, and one guy came in, and in one sentence, which to be fair, my mods were all over, and spoiled in one short paragraph, Endgame and Game of Thrones had a big thing that day as well. And they dropped them both in the same time. And I was very lucky that I'd watched Game of Thrones in the morning because I would have lost my shiz over it. Because I'm a big Game of Thrones fan, and it was big. The Endgame one, I was like, well, I'll take it on the chin. I've put myself in this position. So I knew the big spoiler at the end.
Yeah.
But there was so much around that it was very cool anyway. And knowing that one thing, and to be fair, I like to think of myself as fairly clever, and I know how story arcs work, and I know how when certain people who have been in a franchise for a long while, which will continue, have their contracts running out, there's going to be one or two outcomes that's going to happen there. And so I kind of would have already guessed it. But there was so many other little bits that happened that I didn't know. That was probably the best, certainly the best of the Avengers movies.
I think they nipped everything off nicely.
Tied a lot of bows.
Which is what was important to me.
A lot of things that took a lot of effort to tie up as well.
Yeah, I mean, one of the tidiest series I've ever seen is Banshee, which is a really underrated series, and most people haven't seen it.
Yeah, I'm one of those people.
Yeah, I recommend it. But the director, the guy that wrote it, actually ended it. He had the ending ready before he'd done the start of it. So when they wrapped this thing up in the last season of it, it was perfect. It was as if he'd written the ending and then worked backwards. So everything was neatly tied off in a bow, Which you should do. If you look at shows like Lost, which seem to do we have a rough idea where we want to get to, but we're going to meander and sort of lose their way. Some shows really do it well, some shows not so well. And then you've got shows like How I Met Your Mother. Yeah.
Did you ever watch that? Which How You Met Your Mother, at the start of at the beginning one, certainly, there's he's sitting down with his kids and he's telling the story of How He Met Your Mother. It's a 10-year-old show. These kids are going to get old. They're going to age out. So what they did is they recorded the entire show run's worth of kids bits at the beginning and then dropped them in throughout the 10 years with the end scene being with the kids. So they knew exactly what they were going to do from the beginning.
Yeah, that's clever.
Wonderful. Except for the show evolved away from that making sense and they crowbarred it back in and everyone hated it. So rather than rolling with it, they just
They stuck too rigidly to the plan, huh?
Yeah, and it didn't work. It didn't work. If they'd have cut the series 2-3 episodes earlier than it did, it would have been a better overall show.
But then we can have something like Game of Thrones that probably needed another 2 episodes to neatly tie everything off and not leave us all wondering what the hell, right?
Well, that was a budget thing, I think. They wanted to spend a full season's budget
on that bloody battle.
Well, they had to make, was it 6 episodes in the end? They made 10 episodes budget into 6 so they could do big, grander and more epic, which is a wonderful idea on paper. But it doesn't leave enough character development, and there was some very dubious snaps.
Well, some people were fully attached. I was invested in some of those characters.
But Game of Thrones is always that one that he didn't, the way he was writing it is that he doesn't care if you like that character or not. If he feels that it's time to die, they die.
They die,
If you like them especially, then that's their time to die because you like them especially. And I think he's a very good writer in that regard. And I think that once he moved away from him, it got a bit wobbly.
Yeah, the series became weak when his writing went away. That was my take on it.
Because it seems like it stopped being a brave. And I always say this about Walking Dead, because I'm not a fan of The Walking Dead, because I think he has the exact opposite problem that the Game of Thrones had at the beginning, is that if someone's popular, until that actor doesn't want to do it anymore, they're in. They're safe. It doesn't matter. They're always going to keep this guy in or this girl in for as long as they can. Whereas Game of Thrones would they would always cut a character in Game of Thrones. At the end of the part where he was writing it, it smacked of producers taking control of the vision, and that's never good.
No,
producers aren't writers. They're not. They're in it for the money. They're not in it for the art. And these things have to come down to art at the end of the day. And I think that was really telling in the last series.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I definitely agree with that. There was a strange few choices made.
And I think it would have really worked if it had another season.
Yeah, I could go with that.
You could draw me into a Game of Thrones conversation and we'll be here for 8 hours and we won't talk about anything else. So let's move on to something else. Marvel movies.
So, female Thor. The next Thor is female.
No.
Yes.
No. You're wrong. No.
I'm not.
I think you are.
I'm not.
I don't think there's enough information for you to make that assumption.
It's been done. It's been declared. It's done.
They said the next Marvel movie will have a female Thor in it. They did not say the next Thor will be female.
It's going to be the handoff. It's going to be Jane Foster. There's going to be Thor. They're ripping it straight out the comics.
I don't think it will.
Well, I'm happy to be proven either way. I don't really mind.
I think halfway through the film, she's going to pick up the hammer, get his powers, like has happened in other character arcs. And almost dropped big spoilers all over the place there.
Almost.
Scooped him up though. I was careful.
You did.
And because other characters in the comics have picked up the hammer, got the powers of Thor. So she'll get the powers of Thor, but then she'll give up the hammer and it'll go back to the first guy. Because then the first guy's continuing to want to be Thor and he's very popular as Thor. And why would you cut out a A-list actor who wants to be your A-list character for someone who's not?
We'll see.
And don't get me wrong, she's A-list. But why cut out one? I think it's going to be temporary. I'm calling it right now. We'll see.
I mean, the next James Bond is female, right? That's the thing that's happening.
Is that a confirmed thing?
Yeah, that's been confirmed. So that's going to be an interesting one.
I am all for being female. I'm all for character gender swaps being fine. I'm not okay with James Bond though, because I don't think the character traits of James Bond are negative male character types and tropes and stereotypes, and they're not going to be fitting on the other side.
They should have just let the series die. They should have just let James Bond die, and then if we need a lady lead action movie, that's absolutely fine. But you're right. James Bond works because he's supposed to be a flawed man.
Yeah.
You know, in the books, James Bond drinks as a test to himself. He drinks right to the limit of being drunk every day to push his tolerance, to push his weight. That's one of his character flaws, you know? Yeah, with banana milk in my case.
I was going to say, am I right in thinking you don't drink at all? And I
don't drink at all.
5 beers in the last 4 months.
And one of them you threw into your Go XLR.
Oh my God, I poured beer into it and then nearly cried. You couldn't hear me nearly crying. You was on the phone to me at the time.
I was on the phone,
for the thing, yeah. You couldn't hear me nearly crying because the Go XLR. The
Go XLR was getting tipped up and then put in the airing cupboard.
Yeah, but it turned off because it involuntarily turned itself off, causing much panic. When I had an out of body experience where I watched the beer pour into the gaps, and then I saw the lights turn off, and it took another second for me to go, uh-oh. There was just this little beautiful moment of serenity before, and then there was the mad pash.
Well, a credit to the Go XLR people at Pelican Gaming, man. It'll take a beer.
Man, it will take a beer in. Don't pour beer into it, but it can. It went into the airing cupboard overnight. I didn't have any rice, so it went into the airing cupboard and it came out in the morning and the lights came on and I was happy.
Yep, that's good. That's a lifesaver. That is. So that's kind of what else is getting rebooted. Blade 2. No, Blade.
Blade 2 is because Blade 1 and Blade Trinity are.
Yes. Blade is getting redone with a new actor completely. I'm kind of in for that. You know the Underworld movies suffered from being ever so slightly cheesy?
I don't think you could make a Blade movie the way they made a Blade movie originally and have it credible now. There's too much.
We're past that, aren't we?
Well, yeah, just trends and tastes evolve, and it's not. It's like trying to make a not the original, but the Christopher Reeve Superman films were hugely well received, and they were loved, and they were good movies in their type. If you made a film now that looked exactly like that, you would get laughed at. They wouldn't accept that style, that comedy, so you have to move on to what's now. So they need to revamp it and make it, I would think, probably 90% more serious, dark tone.
I get that. It needs to be gothic.
Yeah, I hope they go down that route because the problem is Deadpool was very popular and that's a wisecrack.
But Deadpool's completely silly.
But that's the point, is that it was wisecracking and silly but it was popular and wisecracking and silly, and a producer might think that that's a good thing to put in a Blade, and I think Blade comes across better if he's just serious and intimidating.
Yeah.
They need to give him a good comic relief. A Hannibal King again.
I like Hannibal King, yeah. I can work with that.
He's a good character. He's played by a good actor.
Did you catch that the next Doctor Strange movie is going to be a psychological horror?
Is it really?
That's what I'm hearing, yeah.
Oh, I hope so. Oh, Marvel needs to branch out and take over all of the other genres.
Well, apparently it's going to be really head twisty, like psycho horror. You know, don't get me wrong, we're not talking gore horror here.
More the Cell type. Yeah, it's not going to be a bloodfest, but it's going to be a
mind twister, apparently. And I think that's brilliant. I think that's really, really brilliant, because I've always loved the concept of the telepath in, X-Men. So Professor X and what's her name? Phoenix. When that sort of crossover, when they're fighting on the astral planes and that sort of stuff. I've always loved that kind of concept. And I think that's obviously where Doctor Strange is supposed to work, right? He works on the mirror planes in a way and that sort of stuff. So
the supernatural side would be good. I'm going to get this wrong and I'm going to take crap for it. And I'm sorry in advance to anyone who knows that I'm an idiot. But Constantine isn't Marvel, is it? Constantine's DC.
That's what was in my head right then. And I don't know.
We think too much alike. I don't like it.
Are you thinking, hang on, which Constantine are you thinking? The series or the movie?
There is only one Constantine. They're all the same character.
They are?
I was thinking if they can do something, I'm doing what you're doing and Googling.
DC Comics. Yeah. Constantine's DC.
DC, yeah. I thought it was DC, which is why I knew I was cringing when I asked if it was Marvel. I have a feeling it was. It's one of the offshoot of DC.
He's one of my favorite DC characters of all, and I love the series.
It makes sense because it's it's in that sort of supernatural, mystical world where you like your gods and demons.
I love mystical voodoo stuff. Yeah. So the series Grimm. Did you ever see the series Grimm?
I'd seen some. I was okay with the first series, Grimm.
It went a bit grim after about 4, I think, but obviously it's just grown up Buffy, right? That's what it was.
That's exactly what it looked like. Yep.
I'm a big fan of the folklore concept.
Yeah.
So anything that starts to play around with that kind of stuff, big fan.
Fables,
mythology, folklore, yeah, that's all my stuff. That's right up my street.
There was that Telltale game that was based off of the Fables, Wolf Among Us. That was very good.
I have that. I have it, and I've never played it, and I feel a fool for not playing it.
Definitely play it. It's got a lot of, it's got Grendel and some of the characters that are obscure. You know who they are, I know who they are, but I mean overall, because we're both a bit nerdy when it comes to those sort of things, you know who those people are. And it's got some of the, so it's got Grendel in it, but it hasn't got Beowulf. So it's like, it's not even specifically said. You have to look it up within it to see who they are.
Isn't there a stupid thing about Beowulf where he's actually trademarked?
I would think so.
I'm sure there's a stupid thing where he's trademarked. Or you're not allowed to use him because he's national identity or something stupid like that.
You don't see him very much. There was that movie with Angelina Jolie in it, remember?
The Ray Winston one?
I don't know, I didn't watch it.
It was the one that was like half animated.
Yes, that one.
Oh, God, that was so difficult to watch. Ray Winston was Beowulf as far as I remember.
I'm not a big Ray Winston fan.
I like him. I like him. He's
He's British, and it's everything you would like, and he's everything that I fight against every single day.
Good.
And that's why when we take over the world and we get our superpowers, you'll be the villain and I'll be the hero 1 week, and then we will switch.
And then we can swap it back. Yeah, just keep it
every
fresh.
other week I'll be the villain.
I'm in. Speaking of villains, Poke.
Ooh, segue.
Where do you stand on the Linity chucking a cat?
I stand firmly in she should be banned, and she should have the American RSPCA, whatever they are. People drive to her house and remove her cats from her and say, you can't buy cats.
No more cats for you.
No more cats. Or, no animals.
Fair. Yeah.
Or you go to prison. She's got a history.
But did you see the side-by-side on Twitter today?
No.
Somebody did a side-by-side. 2 women doing exactly the same thing.
Right.
So a woman's taken a cat and flung it to the side of the chair, like taking it from her lap and thrown it to the side of the chair. So not over her head, but just to the side.
Yeah.
And she got a 14-day ban, but Alinity didn't.
She got a 14-day ban. So this happened on Twitch, and she threw it to the side, I'm assuming. You cannot throw animals.
Kind of chucked it to the side, so she got a 14-day ban.
You can't throw animals. Your job is to protect this animal. It's like it's different, but it's the same. It's like having kids, right? If your little boy come and was like, oh, daddy, and you're like, hey, how you doing? Come sit on my lap. And you're like, yeah, I'm done with you now. Yoink! And yeeted him across the room. Then that would be bad, and you should not have that child, because your job, your only job in life as a parent, is to protect your child. And if you're buying a cat and you've signed into this contract of I will look after this animal, you don't fling it over your head. You don't spit vodka, which is poison to an animal like a cat, into its mouth.
Yeah, that bit was pretty awful.
She's got a history of it, and it's disgusting. She also saw a video of her with like a palm-sized sticker that she stuck to its face, and it was clearly uncomfortable. Now, there's another way of looking at this where there's obviously a relationship with this cat. She's got this relationship where the cat isn't running away from her every time. They're obviously, the cat is connected, and there's that. It's the same as people sort of rough around with dogs. It's there's got to be a trust. There's got to be a bond between them. But it's still disgusting. It's still, you betrayed that, and you are the one with the human brain. The cat might not have the capacity to think, maybe I shouldn't be around here. You are still the one that feeds it. It will still come to you because of that. This is, it's inexcusable.
Yeah, I agree. It shouldn't be allowed.
Got a bit ranty there.
That's fine. That was the purpose of the question.
I feel very strongly about this one.
Good. And so I think that should be the case. Feeling strongly about silly things like platform changes and stuff is one thing, but animals are something we can all agree on. That's not something you get to do. No. You just don't get to do that.
Twitch has nothing to do with this. Right? Twitch has nothing to do with this, as in she should have the cats taken away from her. There is video evidence that she's done this. She should lose the ownership of the cats. The cat should be taken away because it's the cat's safety. Twitch should then punish her, which should be a ban or a lengthy suspension. Not only because of that, but because she used that as she's using hurting an animal as content.
Yeah,
she's using that to create content, and that's unacceptable. And that's the wrong. Allowing someone to be unpunished by that sets the wrong standard for encouragement.
Animal cruelty is illegal in this country, so surely it's illegal there as well.
I would hope. I'm not up to date with their laws, but yeah, I would hope so.
And illegal activities are illegal activities. You shouldn't be allowed to do them on a professional stream. On any stream, you shouldn't be allowed to televise anything like that. But it seems that she's gotten away with it with regards to Twitch. Nothing's happened. The last I heard, the American version of the RSPCA was taking action against her.
Good. But
we'll see what happens there. But yeah, that was about the only messy thing this week, I think.
That was the big negative, which is, it's huge negative, but as in a whole week to only have one negative feels like a good week.
Yeah, I think that means we literally nailed it this week.
Yeah.
Other than that, every Briton in the country has lost about 20 stone in heat weight.
Man, I am drinking my body weight in water every 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, I'm getting shouted at by an Australian to make sure I'm drinking my water.
Well, she knows. She lives in this. This is her life. Yep. I don't know what Australia's like. I assume it's all desert.
Well, I assumed for a while it was like the inside of an oven, but apparently it has a range of -5 to
What?
plus 45 Celsius.
I don't believe this Aussie propaganda she's been spinning. It's not. It's plus 45 to plus 65. I'm almost certain. I saw a documentary once.
Well, it's winter there now, right?
Yes, logical. Yep.
Which is one of the weirdest concepts in the world to me. They have Christmas in the middle of summer, and they go for barbecues at Christmas.
We're melting, and she's like, "Oh, I'm cold. I might put an extra jumper on."
Bit chilly, might sling a layer on, yeah.
My body isn't ready for this heat.
Hey, I'm ginger and overweight. I'm not ticking the right boxes for heat.
I don't go outside. That you'd think that'd help, but my studio, which I spend probably 80% of my awake life in, is a sealed room with the windows blocked up so that I can control the lights.
This dream we live, right?
If I stream or do any recording at 9 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning, you're not going to know what time it is based because I've got 100% control of the light. You are going to tell whether it's daytime or nighttime depending on the flop sweat that I'm rocking. You can judge the time of day by how shiny I am.
That's a win. Yeah, I can see that.
And I don't sit there in booty shorts like someone flapping their overly long testicles.
You need to get yourself some booty shorts. I swear this is the way forward.
I've got a couple of pairs of like board shorts that I will go for if I need to.
Nah, they're too long. They're basically trousers. Stop flapping around. Get yourself some proper booty shorts. Go onto Amazon there and type in bodybuilder stage shorts. That's what you want, a pair of them.
Oh, you've gone for bodybuilder stage shorts.
Yeah, that's what you want. And you want to get them in about double XL so that they don't, you know.
Someone's got an inflated sense of self. I like it.
I know. Some of us have got an inflated waistline. It's not to do with my sense of anything.
I'm still wearing the trousers that I was wearing on stream because I ended my stream about an hour and a half ago.
You can't stream in trousers, man.
But these aren't these are pajama buttons.
Are they lounge pants?
No. These are full button fronted pajamas. They're stripy.
Wow.
They are beautiful. They are Calvin Klein. I'll have you know.
Oh,
when I bought them, or when I was bought for me, because I don't buy my clothes. Calvin Klein was still fashionable at the time. So I've had these for about 10 years and I never wear them unless it's ridiculously hot because they're the finished trousers that I own.
Well, if you had some booty shorts, they could be thin shorts that just don't worry about your legs.
But I'm not married. I haven't given up like you have.
I don't know if it's given up. I mean, I wouldn't answer the door in these. I lie. I did that the other day, you know.
I knew you were going to have to retract. I was about to call you on it and you called yourself.
Yeah, I'm a man. I can own my mistakes. I did once answer the door to a man named Frank, who was a delivery driver, who could not take his eyes off my pasty whites.
He could not take his leg off my eyes.
He could not take his leg off my face. Yeah, it was a thing.
He's a really friendly delivery driver. He got a 5-star.
Speaking of funny delivery driver, here's something that I find funny. You know, we have a delivery firm in the UK called Hermes.
Yes.
Did you know that Hermes was actually the god of tricksters and thieves?
Wasn't he the god of speed? Wasn't he the delivery? Yeah, it was God's messages. Yeah. That was it. I knew.
Yeah, so they've taken that bit well, but he was also the god of mischief, trickery, and thievery. That was his thing. And I don't think they looked at that when they considered the brief. No.
No. We're the god of delivering and other stuff. Don't worry about the other stuff.
Yeah, don't worry about the rest. That's fine. It's just don't worry about that. You didn't see that. It's fine.
Mostly delivery is what we do. Also, we don't know what happened to your parcel.
But yeah, it goes under the standard delivery service of your parcel is out for delivery. We have no clue your parcel has been delivered. Which all tracking in the UK seems to be, right?
Yeah, I love on a major website. Let's not call it Amazon, but on a major website, I do like that on my phone. I can track because I've ordered a lot of updates for the stream. I've become a little bit. Like I'll buy things that are like £2 or £3 for it, and then that'll come the next day or the same day. I've taken to watching my phone to see when it changes over to the map. Second it changed over to the map, you've lost me for half an hour.
You're gonna stare at it.
I just stare at the map until the dot gets closer, and then it's almost here. Go and wait at the front door because I live in an apartment block, so I wait downstairs because there's 2 doors to get into my apartment. And they always go to the wrong one, so I stand outside. So essentially, I now don't control the app. The app controls me.
Well, you know that happens on the Uber delivery, the Uber Eats website as well, because you can watch it in real time.
I don't Uber Eats.
Well, you can Uber Eats McDonald's if you feel the need, and you can quite literally watch him slow down and stop at traffic lights. It's a lot.
You know, we've discussed this before, is that the nearest McDonald's to me is a 10 to 15 minute walk, which is a half an hour walk, which means I've earned my McDonald's and don't have to feel bad. I don't have to feel like I've eaten crappy food or I should be exercising because I already did that. Got it out of the way. That Uber Eats would mean I'd have to start exercising at home, and we all know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's a struggle. I tell you what it is I set myself a challenge at the start of the summer to either run 3 miles or walk 5 every day, and it's killing me in this heat. It really is.
Are you still doing that?
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah, I'm still doing it. It's been killing me.
I started running.
I'm not running. I ran the first day. I've been walking the rest. I can't run in this. I'll die.
I ran the first day, and then the next day I took off because I was tired, and then that was 2 months. That was a month ago. Yeah. Bought myself a bike as well, like a spin cycle.
Well, that's fine. When the weather cools down, you'll have no issue doing that. You'll be fine.
That's my logic. That's my new excuse. Before I was just busy. Now it's too hot.
Yeah. And then you'll be busy again.
I'm going to be busy when because I'm not doing a lot while it's hot. I've got lots of catching up to do.
Well, what I do is I stick an episode or something on in the back room and then just pedal on my spin bike for an hour. That's what I do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it works fine. You convince yourself you're doing something and it's enough to distract you from the pain in your legs and lungs, and that's fine. That's all it needs to be.
I'm a music person. I never listen to music really, unless I'm on like a running machine or something. I've tried podcasts and stuff and it doesn't work. Only success I've had on running machines with non-music is in my old house, I used to have a running machine butted against the wall. I used to have a TV on the wall. I used to hook my Xbox into the TV.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I never used to, you can't run and play video games. You'll fall off.
You walk on an incline.
But you walk on an incline quickly while playing a game. And you need to find a game like a really slow game like I 1,000 pointed Viva Pinata, Minecraft, and Magic the Gathering, because I played Halo. And if you are running left on Halo, you're running left on real life.
Yeah,
and you'll fall off.
I can see that.
So you have to play. There's a certain type of game you have to play, or you are gonna fall flat on your face. And don't knock, mate. There is nothing better than going, "Oh, I've been doing this for an hour. That doesn't feel like it." But 2 achievements. So,
yeah. Well, my wife started playing Viva Pinata, and she made herself a couple of worms, and she had them in a garden, and she was so happy. And then a bird came down and ate one of the worms.
That's how you get the bird.
So she screamed. Literally screamed my house down, put the other worm in a box, in a crate for shipping, and never shipped it, turned the game off and never played it again. That was her entire adventure into Viva Pinata.
How long ago was that?
I can't remember. So a long time.
At some point this week, you need to sit down, probably when you're next having your date night, the next Tuesday, to sit down, put your arm around her and go, "Hey, you put that worm in that box. No, remember you put that worm in that box a year ago? You definitely didn't put a year's worth of food. That worm's dead now. You monster." Just sort of drive home what she really did.
I don't think that's a good idea, but I appreciate the humor.
I think it might ruin date night. But what a story for the podcast.
Yeah, it'd be good for the podcast, and the podcast is life.
She needs to know she's second place to podcast.
No, I don't. No. I get the feeling this is why one of us is divorced and the other one's not. So.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit. Right, what else happened in this week? I mean, there wasn't a lot, was there?
There wasn't. The movies were the big thing for me.
The movies were huge because of the San Diego Comic-Con, right? That was the big.
That's why so much was announced.
Because they gave a timeline until what, 2022?
Yeah, I mean, the Marvel stuff went a long way, and it had, like I say, it had lots of different things, and there's some crazy titles that sort of seem weird.
So Doctor Strange, what's that called? Illuminati. That was that one.
So that's
supposed to be a psychological horror, apparently. Yeah.
And you've got there's at least, is it four TV shows? I can see 5 TV shows. Most of this is TV shows.
A lot of it's TV shows.
You've got Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think it's going to be a TV show. Loki, Hawkeye, Eternals. So they're leaning really, really hard. Now they've established that they can do no wrong. They're really leaning into some dubious comic book style titles. WandaVision is not I would never watch something called WandaVision.
WandaVision is Scarlet Witch and Vision.
Yeah, Wanda and Vision. WandaVision. There are better titles than that. Right? Vision and the Scarlet Witch is a better title than WandaVision.
You know, there's things here like this Black Widow Leviathan. I don't know what that Leviathan is. These can't be real. Are these real titles for these things? They are.
They look so silly. Even like the 4 Is it For Love and Thunder? It's just that's such a cheesy 80s B movie that you watch after Masters of the Universe has finished. Or
I'm not sure where they're going with that. I'm really not. I don't know what Nova is.
Nova is one of the Iron Fist. That little group of people.
Oh, okay, right, yeah, okay.
Nova was in that little group of people. So I know of Nova only from the cartoon.
Eternals is a series, isn't it?
Eternals is a ground level mutant program, I think.
Yeah,
I think mutants, because they've got X-Men back.
I think they have Eternals and Inhumans. Yeah, they've got X-Men back, but they're not doing anything with it, or they're trying to get it back.
I heard that they've got plans for Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four's on this list as well. So is the Silver Surfer. Yeah, on this list I'm looking at here.
I don't think we're looking at the same list. I think you're looking at an imaginary list.
Am I? Or are you looking at an imaginary list?
I'm looking at a list with... Well, I've only got up until... this is what's on my list up until 2021. I've got Black Widow, Falcon, Winter Soldier, Eternals, Shang-Chi,
yeah.
Legend of the Ten Rings, WandaVision, Doctor Strange, Loki, What If, which could be very, very exciting.
So Multiverse of Madness is the Doctor Strange one, right?
Yes.
So that's going to be nuts. Loki looks like somebody whose passion is graphics design designed the logo. I don't know what happened there.
I read a tweet. I can't remember who wrote it, but someone said it looks like an intern has started to use filters on Photoshop, and that's exactly what it looks like. Oh,
that's exactly what it looks
like. I'm going to showcase all of what I've learned
in one image.
Yeah.
Yep. So WandaVision's going to be weird. Looking at the artwork for Hawkeye, I think that's going to focus on his daughter.
Yeah, it's going. That's what it seems to be, but it looks. Purely judging about the font, that looks like a Hannah Montana at superheroes.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're going for. Girl power teenagers sort of. Yeah,
that's sort of aiming at sort of early teens.
Shang-Chi could be good if they don't Iron Fist it, because Iron Fist was awful.
I didn't hate Iron Fist.
You're wrong. Eternals is going to be whatever Eternals is. So Blade, Black Widow, Falcon the Winter Soldier, Thor, Doctor Strange, Loki.
It's such an 80s vibe to that
I'm
logo.
kind of okay with that.
It looks very, very 80s. I'm not sure. I wasn't old enough to be in the 80s like some people.
No, but you're right. The graphic style and everything does look like an 80s thing to me. It does. I see that. But maybe that's what they're going to go for, like big hair.
Yeah, it's very 80s. It's very if you've done that on Word. You've done word art. That's what
you've done word art and just gone for a gradient and a firm bevel.
They've gone for that. There was one that was just metal. Remember, it would give you that effect.
It was crap.
It would be bronze through to blue. Yeah.
I don't know what if. What is Marvel Studios' what if?
What if you think of what if could be, I don't know what that is, but if you think it could be sort of multiverse type stuff, they've now
it's introduced.
Series. Oh, is it a series?
Mm-hmm.
But there's like lots of comics where everyone in the world, the superheroes, everyone has become zombies.
Yeah, apparently that's exactly what it is. It's different spins, and it's a narrated TV series. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very okay with that. Very, very happy with it.
I'm cool with that. Well, Disney did that, didn't they? Disney have a series. I think it's called Twisted Tales. It's a series of books. You can get them in Asda, and they're the complete twist of the classic stories that you know from Disney. So it's things like what if the evil stepmother had won in Cinderella and things like that.
No, I did not know that. But then
yeah, they're kind of cool because my daughter likes them.
I was gonna say I don't have kids, so that makes sense that I wouldn't know this.
But yeah, I think I'm kind of cool of alternate timeline stuff. So Phase 4 starts 2020. So 1st of the 5th, 2020 is the first date I'm seeing.
1st of the 5th, which would be Black Widow.
It's Black Widow series, yeah.
But there's still stuff coming this year, isn't it? Or we finished this year? We've had Spider-Man.
No, we're done this year. Spider-Man was the last one, wasn't it? I still haven't seen that.
Wow, neither have I. We're in June. Are we in June? We're in July. We're in July.
We're in July.
That's very early to have tapped out on a year.
There is, but I don't remember seeing anything else for the year.
I guess they have just finished with Endgame and they've just finished Phase 3.
They finished the Avengers timeline of Phase 3, haven't they? So I don't think there's much else coming out. Inhumans is the only thing in November.
Wasn't Inhumans received badly? Is that the one with the guy who plays Ramsay Bolton in it?
Is that the one?
The one with the guy from Game of Thrones? Yeah. Is that one? I don't know if that's an Inhuman.
Yeah, man. This says it's got 8. That can't be what they're pursuing, surely. It's got 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. What the hell is that? No, that's.
I don't think you should be watching stuff based off of Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm not. I watch what I want to watch, but it's also got a 5.1 IMDb, 2 stars on IMDb. I don't think that one's gone very well.
Yeah, it was very poorly received. Very, very poorly received.
So that's supposed to be like a kiddie mutant thing. Is it like a baby X-Men?
Yeah. Well, the X-Men have got so many spin-off, like within the X-Men sort of
universe. Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many spin-off teams and spin-off groups on there anyway. So there's a lot to be done once X-Men come in. And Marvel have always been very, very good at. Well, they've built an empire based off of we sold all the good ones. Let's make something amazing out of the B list. Well, look at Iron Man. Before Iron Man came out, Iron Man was a D-list superhero, and Robert Downey Jr. was a struggling actor with a dark past. So yeah, it's really done well.
Tony Stark was written as a social experiment. That's what Stan Lee said. It was a social experiment because he was supposed to be a hero that you shouldn't like, but he wanted to see if he could make people like him, which I don't know if he succeeded at, really.
I like him. I
got attached to him, but I'm certainly not going to base my life role model on him.
Oh, this is awkward. I've already started blacksmithing.
Oh Christ!
Speaking of blacksmithing, I've been heavily getting into Forged in Fire. Have you ever seen that?
Yes, I have.
TV show about blacksmithing and making knives. That doesn't sound like a good show. I will binge watch the hell out of that show.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. Because my wife watches one called Nailed It, which is basically about terrible cakes. They don't give them enough time to make these exquisite cakes and then trash it.
That's the whole point. Is you give them just a little bit less time than they need, and because then there will be a fatal flaw in something, and a cake's gonna fall over, or a knife's gonna snap.
I think they give them an hour less on Nailed It. It's devastating.
Oh, really that bad?
Yeah, it's devastating.
There's a new Netflix show called Blown Away, Blown something about glass blowing, which is the same thing. And it's I don't know if you've seen it. I watched one episode. It's not Forged in Fire, mate.
Is it? I was gonna say, is it Forged in Fire?
It's Forged in Fire with glass blowing. Unfortunately, people love knives and weaponry because they're cool.
And my wife won't watch that show with me. I tried.
I used to watch it when I was married all the time. It was a ritual. We used to watch it all the time.
Well, you're on a win because I can't get my wife to watch shows like that. She's like, this is crap. I'm not watching. And then she'll go and do something else. It kills me.
Fair enough.
Why would she want to watch Doug cut through bamboo sticks with a sword that was made in a guy's own forge in his garden?
I can tell you why. Because it will kill. That's why.
Yes.
Such an in-joke that no one who's never seen the show will know. Like, you'll get like, what? What are you saying? What? It'll kill.
Yep.
What?
Yep. It'll kill. Yep.
Trust me, watch the show and you'll love it. It's really good.
It's held its edge well. Everything is okay.
I just want to be half as cool as the guy, the grey-haired guy. I just want to be half as cool as him with his waistcoat and his moustache.
With that giant Burt Reynolds, yeah,
Man.
But that's the man that I suspect if he gets attacked on the street, he's gonna whip a sword rapier.
Yeah, he's got somewhere secreted about his person. He's got
either a Bowie knife or a sword.
No, I can see the others having a Bowie knife. He's got a rapier.
He's a man of class.
Yeah, he will whip out a 16th century sidearm and poke you with it.
I can see that. You just hear it draw, and it begins with the on guard.
And then you look down, and you've got the mark of Zorro on you.
Yeah. In your belly button hair. That's what I imagine.
What you hear is
done. You now forever have a tattoo in your belly button hair. That's what I imagine.
Yeah, Forged in Fire. Go watch it. Go watch it now.
Yeah, it's worth your time.
That's what the rest of all of the podcasts are going to be about. Because it's all I've been watching when I'm not working.
Well, that and Trawlerman. Yeah, we could go with that.
I've never seen Trawlerman.
Mate, it's devastating. It's a devastating show. The hardship these men in Macintoshes go through.
It's the same show. There's like 50 of those shows. Like the Ice Road Truckers. It's the same show. It's just instead of on the water, it's on the ice, which is technically water. So I guess it's exactly the same show.
It's pretty much the same thing. I mean, they have the Australian one where they're putting 37 carriages behind a truck and they wonder why it died in the dust.
So there's 37 carriages and it fell through the earth. We don't know.
And it died. God, we can't work out. But the thing is with that, they're like, and he's got to get out and change a tyre and it's already 50-degree heat. And you're like, Don't get out and change the tire. I don't understand. This isn't a gamble. You're going to die.
Limp it home on the rest of the wheels that it's got.
You've got more tires than that one.
Trucks have several wheels so that when one blows out, yeah, fine. I don't know.
You're going to be okay. Trucks. You're not going to lose the truck.
Yes, he's going to blow up at me because that's what he does. He builds trucks. But I'm sure he'll agree that they have more than one wheel.
They have more than one wheel. You can afford to sacrifice one wheel unless it's one of the front ones. Don't blow out one of your front ones. And make sure you've sin forged in fire so that you've got your sidearm ready in case you get attacked by some sort of wildlife.
Have they considered putting these things on, these big shipping containers and sticking them on the sea like the rest of us do? Is that my?
I mean, you can't go to the middle of Australia on the sea or Alaska on the sea.
No. Don't see. This is where you fall for that Aussie nonsense that she's been spinning at you. No one lives in the middle of Australia. They live on a little bit of the outside. It's like 99% uninhabited Australia, right? They only live on the edge.
I remember watching the Alaska one, and they had to get, mate. It was heart wrenching. They had to get a container from one end of Alaska to the other, and they had to do it before the ice melted on the strait.
Should have left earlier.
Otherwise, they'd have to take a detour of 100 miles, and that was the first thought that went through my head, mate. Was why didn't you send it a week ago?
One, go a week ago, or two, add another 100 miles to your journey and be safe and don't fall through through the ice. Just don't die, but take a little bit longer.
Yeah,
that's fine.
But time is money. They tell you that all the time. He's losing money.
I can get into London quicker if I ran across the M25, like just cut straight across. But I don't do that because there's cars coming, so I go around. So I take a longer, slightly safer route than trying to frog on my way across the main motorway.
I'm not sure it's a slightly safer route so much as a night and day safer route, really. There,
I reckon I could do it. I'm quite nimble.
Please don't try. You're my only friend.
All right, just for you, and more importantly, this podcast. I won't do it.
Yeah, because this podcast has to go out, otherwise my content dries up. I need this.
Half of the
after this, I have to go and forge a knife in the back garden, ready for a new show.
Well, apparently we've started doing 2 of these a week.
No, we haven't.
No, we really haven't. We did 2 this week. We're not doing 2 anymore.
We did 2 because one was painfully serious, and we wanted to get back to just being silly.
There was no. It was commented during it, and there was commented afterwards that was serious. There was no joking at all.
It was serious. That was professional podcast 101. But it's important that everybody still sees both sides of us.
I never let people see the professional me. I always let them see the guy that makes the silly joke.
Sometimes you got to realize that we are doing this seriously. Not this one. This is silly.
Yeah. This is silly.
I'm not actually forging swords, but this one's silly. But the other one, that's quite serious.
Was actually considering a Frogger plan.
We could make it a YouTube video, but if you messed it up, they'd take it down. If you didn't mess it up, it'd be okay.
Imagine if I messed it up. Dude, if it messed it up, that's my obituary. This idiot did this. I'd want it played at my funeral because I'd want...
Yeah, but they'd take it down.
Yeah, but you still have the rough cuts. Imagine if you had a helicopter that you could...
Right, or a drone.
No.
Drones are cheaper.
If I'm running across a flipping motorway, you're getting in a helicopter. I'm not having you doing it from the ground. Get in a damn helicopter.
No, I'm going to send the drone.
Lazy.
I'm going to send the drone, one of them cheap ones from Gadget Shop. That barely holds my smartphone underneath it.
I don't even want one that has a smartphone that clicks to it. I want one with a bad camera on the top.
Like a really bad GoPro.
That's Wi-Fi connects to your phone and your phone records it from that way. But if you could fly in a helicopter and watch me from above.
All you see the whole time is the seashell.
The thing that I would worry about from there is that I would do it and it'd be amazing. And then I'd get across and somehow I'd be like the other end. I'm like, wow, did you get that? And you'd watch the footage back and you'd put the phone in facing up. You're like, oh, I had it in selfie mode. Can you do it again?
Yep, that's a very likely outcome. All you've got is the inside of my pocket because I put the wrong phone on entirely. That could also be an option.
So helicopter.
Yep. But like I said, you fail it, the video gets taken down. But if you succeed, they'll let it stay up there and you'll be okay. It's like these mad heads that climb up cranes. These nutcases that climb skyscrapers and cranes and stuff. They're on the same level here, mate. Only you don't have their fitness.
I just sort of waddle across the road in a pose, much like Frogger did. But I feel it's important that we clarify that no one should do this.
No, you're right. Don't do this. Please don't be stupid.
Because I'm sure you're very smart, but there's a few of you around. One of you's probably dumb.
There are better ways to make content, okay?
I know better ways.
Just
safer ways.
There are definitely safer ways. Yeah, just No.
Just no, no.
Just no.
Because you started like mapping it out as a feasible, like for 50 quid, I could get a drone. And I mean,
there's a lot of good Marvel movies coming out this year. I'd hate for you to miss them.
Oh man, can you imagine how good WandaVision's gonna be? You don't want to miss that. You don't want to.
That might be what causes this Frogger plan to be enacted. I'm gonna ring you up like Poke, code Frogger, green light.
Let's do it. Code WandaVision.
Code WandaVision, green light. Let's go.
I get those. If I was gonna do it though, I'd get. Do you remember the wellies, like the Wellington boots that you had when you were a kid, that were green and they had the frog eyes at the front?
Yeah.
I'd have to wear those.
Yeah.
If I was going to frogger my way across the M25, I'm wearing frogger boots.
You're going to wear frogger wellies and maybe a frog umbrella.
A frog umbrella, maybe some sort of frog-based poncho.
Macintosh poncho, yeah. I think you could nail it.
I think this is starting to feel like too good an idea. We need to change the subject quick. Before I start taking full notes on what I'm going to do. Start mapping out M25 quiet times.
We're coming up to an hour. I'm going to bed. That's what the next cut
topic is. Has it been an hour already?
Fen's going to bed. Because he's old.
Right, guys, Ben's going to bed. That gives us 20 solid minutes to come up with this plan.
Before we'll notice.
Before
be back
he starts
awake.
wondering what's going on.
Before I start wondering what's going on.
Oh, what a horrible way to end. What
Good night.
Horrible. Did you just clap yourself?
Yes.
But in the distance, like it was someone else.
In the distance, like it was someone else. I've made content before.
He has a peanut gallery. Congratulations.
I was wondering about it.
So, just for you guys to know, why is Fen laughing when there wasn't a joke said? It's because I cut the joke in the edit. That's why he's laughing a lot, but you don't understand why.
That better go in the description. There better be a timestamp that says Fen being. That's what there needs to be.
It'll just be one long beep followed by you laughing at yourself a lot.
Fen told the best joke this evening. It went like this. Nailed it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good night, people.
Good night. Bye-bye.